Any more questions? No, good. Thank you, Jeremy, for your presentation. First, I want to thank everyone because I probably be the last presentation for today. So this is a long day for everyone. I appreciate you are still with me for this presentation. I have 15 minutes in total. So this is about the cost-benefit analysis for dried tomato production in a medium-sized greenhouse, a case study. So this paper I'm working with Haley, Dr. Nian from Clemson University, Brady from Auburn, Dr. Dabadi and Dr. Motley from Tuskegee University, and we are both funded by the same project as Jeremy. It's funded by USDA, and we work for the GRACE project. And this paper has been accepted by the Hot Technology Journal, so it's associated with American Society of Horticulture. So this is just the outline of this project. So first, I would like, I think as Jeremy already introduced that, the production volume have increased from, in the last 2 decades, has increased a lot. So there's some data from USDA can show you the controlled agricultural environment production volume increased by about like 56%. So there might be because greenhouse or controlled environmental agriculture always offers many advantages over the traditional open field farming. For example, it can provide a controlled environment. And also it allows the year-round crop productions and results in the higher yield. And that's why so it can improve the land and water efficiency. There are some reasons why greenhouse production volume increased a lot. So maybe you might think about why dried tomato, because dried tomato is it has a growing consumer demand. So from the right side table from USDA, you can see the USDA per capita demand for the dried tomato is ranks 2. This is one of the top consumed products in the US, and it also has the high volume crop, and this high price makes them more attractive for the agricultural environment, for some producers and who are interested in investing in the controlled agricultural environment. And also, dried tomato is very sensitive to the environment conditions, so that's why we need this controlled environment for such as greenhouse for the greenhouse tomato production. However, there's some entry barriers. For example, currently the adoption rate for greenhouse in US is still relatively low compared with other countries. And it might be because it requires substantial initial investment for the greenhouse infrastructure, and farmers also face some uncertainty finance, right? They are not sure about whether it's financial feasible for their greenhouse dried tomato production. So that's why we started this cost-benefit analysis project for greenhouse dried tomato. So here's the innovation for this study. So based on study related on the cost-benefit analysis for dried tomato production, most people focus on the traditional tomato, not the treasured tomato. So and also sometimes they focus on the cost-benefit analysis for dried tomato in some cold environment area like Washington D.C., but not in Florida. Here it's more warm. And also the data for the current publication, they always start on the very small scales, greenhouse production, for example, from their campus, lab. But our data is shared by one commercial farm, so we collect data from their financial statement. This is we very appreciate about that. So that's why it makes our study innovative, because we focus on the Florida and started on the cost-benefit analysis for the greenhouse dried tomato production. So we want to provide some information to the farmers or producers who are interested in investing in greenhouse dried tomato production to see where they can make money from this investment. So we want to identify some key cost factors, and also we want to conduct a cost-benefit analysis to show them how much money they might can benefit from this production. So this kind of result can help them to understand the economic feasibility for the greenhouse dried tomato production, and also can provide some insight what are the potential barriers, what are the possible opportunity, right, if you want to invest in the greenhouse production. So these data also can be beneficial by some policy makers, right, to say if they want to support greenhouse production, what kind of what kind of cost they want to provide subsidy or investment. So here is some literature, as I said, that most of them, they focus on the small scale one, and in the other regions and the open field, they are not starting on greenhouse treated tomato production in Florida and using the medium size the data, and someone they focus on the organic tomato production in Florida. But they use the partial budget analysis. In our case, we just establish the enterprise budget. We include all the details costs for the greenhouse production. So here is the method you can see is our data collected from the medium-sized commercial greenhouse farm in Florida. So the farm who is very generous to share with us their financial statement. That way we can transfer their the real world data in our enterprise budget. And because their greenhouse infrastructure was established like 5 or 8 years ago, so that's why we use the code from the greenhouse structure codes from Tuskegee University. And for the US, and this farm sell the product to the wholesale seller, so that's why we get the wholesale price from the USDA to calculate the total revenue. And after we collect the data, and we also conduct several in-person and online meetings with farmers, with the people from industry and academia, and also accountant from that farm to confirm that all the calculation and all those numbers are reasonable from their side. And the data take us many months, so we collect data in 2024. So in this data, we will share this Excel sheet to the farmers if they can play with their data and establish the enterprise budget for their own operation. So that's why we decided to use Excel spreadsheet to develop this enterprise budget. It's very user-friendly. So we have 8 different Excel sheet. It includes the budget summary and the different type of costs. Includes materials, labors, operation costs, fixed costs, and then we conduct the cost-benefit analysis to provide what's the price to cover the total cost, and also the cost-benefit ratio. And then we conduct the sensitivity analysis to show the producers what's their profit response to different market price and market conditions. So that means in which scenario they can make some money, and in which scenario they might lose some money from their operations. So here, I just skip this part. This is just tell you that how we calculate the fixed cost, variable cost, cost-benefit ratio, break-even analysis, and how to conduct the sensitivity analysis. So this is our budget summary. So from here, you can see this is just the summary. It includes the variable cost. Variable cost means the cost changes with when your production unit changes. It includes the materials costs, labor costs, and operational costs. For the materials costs, we consider all the materials like transplant, growing medium, the medium bag, the fertilizer, and the plant nutrient, and also some pest disease control and the other growing medium like the bumblebees here. And besides that, we also consider the labor. So this labor cost includes all labors, including the production, harvesting, packaging, and also some measurements labor here. And we also consider the next one is to be the operating cost. Operating costs include all the energy costs, including electricity, gasoline, and some general farm overhead, and also some some costs related with the irrigation. Sorry. And after that, we have our fixed cost. The fixed cost is mainly from the greenhouse infrastructure and the greenhouse environmental control part, and also it has the farm overhead for the greenhouse. So this is how we calculate the cost, the annualized, greenhouse cost. It includes, this is a quote from the greenhouse infrastructure, and also this is about the greenhouse environmental control cost. And also besides that, we also have the cost for the interest, because sometimes you need to borrow money from the bank probably to purchase this greenhouse structure, and and also we have the overhead for the fixed cost. So after adding that, we can calculate the total fixed cost, right, by adding the fixed cost for the overhead and greenhouse infrastructure and its environmental control, and we add all the variable costs, we can get a total variable cost. We use total cost plus total variable cost, we can get the total cost. The total cost for this, 100 for this 18,000 square feet greenhouse, it costs about 615. $1,825, and is equivalent to 34.21 per square feet. It sounds a little high. It's just because this greenhouse we focus on is a medium size and medium tech. It's not the low tech greenhouse. So, and also our total revenue it's about the $592,000 to 100. Is equivalent to $32.9 per square feet. So, and from here you can see our total revenue is more than total cost. That's why it results in our net return to be a negative. That means this farmer suffering from the loss of $23,000, 624 is equivalent $1.31 per square feet. So based on this, enterprise budgets, and we can, for now we know that this farmer or this medium-sized and medium-type farmer is experiencing the loss, and we also want to calculate the break-even price. We use the total revenue divided by total cost. We can calculate the cost-benefit. The break-even price. We use the total cost divided by the total. Let me see. Total quantity, I think. Yeah, this is the price we need to cover the total cost. That means the farmer have to sell their dried tomato at 3.421 to make it even. If price is higher, it can make money. If price any lower than this price, it suffers from some loss. And the cost benefit ratio equals the total revenue divided by total cost. That to say, for every $1 spent, the farmer only receives $0.963 in return. This is also shows that this farmer experienced the loss. So the next we want to say, because the current market price in 2024 we use is $3.25. This is a $3.29. This is wholesale price, not the retail price from the USDA. The wholesale price in Florida. This data from USDA. So we want to know in which scenario, right? This farmer can make some money. All those prices we chose, they are the different levels from the different regions in the US. We can see that for the price any lower than $3.42, or production. Our sales quantity lower than 118,000 pounds, this farm is pricing will suffering the loss, right? But if the price is higher, or they can increase their productivity, they produce more dried tomato, this might become more profitable. So this incentive analysis just shows us how the profit responds to different market price and also different sales quantity. So the next, we also provide the incentive analysis to say how the farmer profit, responds to the different level of interest rate and different level of the greenhouse. The current greenhouse cost that we calculate is about, it's about this one, I think, 15.22, and the current interest rate is 5.75. So that's why you can see we are losing money in the kind of scenario. But if we want to make it profitable, we can try to maybe government can consider to support some facility subsidy to reduce greenhouse greenhouse infrastructure costs or reduce interest rate, then we can make this greenhouse operation profitable. So based on that, we can conclude that based on the current price, and we calculate the price that covers the total cost. The break-even price is $3.42 per pound, and that's why the total cost greater than total sale, and the current this farm operation is experiencing a loss here. So that means under the current cost and current market conditions, it's difficult changing for the farmer to make their money for the greenhouse trade tomato. So here we have some recommendation. We want to improve the energy efficiency, because energy is one of the main components for the cost, and also we want to try to reduce the labor cost. For example, to use some automation, right, the harvesting robots, something like that. And maybe we also can suggest farmers consider some product breeding to increase their market price, and in this way also might be possible to make it become profitable. And this result also can help the policymaker, like the people from USDA or other non-profit organization want to support greenhouse farmers. It can help them to design the amount for the subsidy of the grant, to cover, for example, the equipment, right, or to help farmers to make them from loss, to change them from loss to making money. So in the future study, we will study some feasibility for different type of the low carbon technology. This is a future study. I'm running out of my time, so I think this is acknowledgement for this project. So I'm ready to take any questions. Yeah.